Housing, meanwhile, continues to be coming along and back from its lows, but the problem this spring appears to be a limited number of homes for the people who want to get in them. We have former Fannie Mae executive Tim Rood and real estate specialist Katrina Campins. Katrina, what's going on here? Is that people are priced out or there aren't enough homes for them?
Well, all signs are pointing towards a strong 2017 real estate market. The issue is that for first-time home buyers, the spring season is going to be a challenging one. And the reason for that is that prices are rising and mortgage rates are rising, but it's coupled with inventory levels that are extremely low. In fact, we're reaching almost a 20-year low. And what's occurring is that in some parts of the nation...
Why are they so low?
Well, they're so low because in some sellers, our potential sellers, would like to sell, but they're afraid that once they sell, they're not able to find the right home. The reason for that is that there's strong job growth in many parts of the nation, especially amongst young first-time home buyers. But by the same token, they can't find a home because a lot of potential sellers are not willing to sell, because even though they're gaining on the price appreciation when they sell, they're going to then have to buy a home that, again, is more expensive as well. So it's kind of a catch-22. And even though we're seeing this amazing job growth, we're not seeing inventory levels where they should be. Now, the luxury market is a completely different story. You're seeing a glut of inventory. And also, one thing to note is that a lot of potential sellers are actually pricing their home too high. So even if there is inventory, they're pricing it much higher than they should be.
You know, Tim, I guess a lot of folks here were over the worst of the levels and the meltdown and all of that, but we could plant the seeds for another one, couldn't we? Or no?
Hi, Neil. Nice to see you again.
Same here.
So think about it this way. So, I mean, the last housing boom was really based on fraud, speculation, overbuilding. You know, this new rebound, if you will, is based on more fundamentals. I mean, you've got clear supply and demand kind of disconnects. You've got a lot of new demand that's coming from millennials that are just coming of age, but you can't buy what's not for sale. Inventory is anemic. To Katrina's point, you see plenty on the luxury side, but actually on the entry-level side, you're seeing, you know, 20% lower inventory from last year, which was already pretty pathetic.
But Tim, aren't those more constructive problems to have than what we had in the past?
There's no doubt. I'll take this all day long. And you actually can see the light through the end of the tunnel on this one, because think about it. So right now you've got about a third of the millennials that are just coming of age, that 85 million population. Just about a third of them are coming to that home buying age. Also, now you're seeing that cohort, that 25 to 34-year-old. That's the most active hiring base. Yeah. So they're getting jobs. They're getting out of their parents' basements. They're going to rent, and then soon they're going to buy.
Katrina, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Ivanka Trump. She was talking about this, the bigger economy at this White House town hall. I want you to react to this. This is Ivanka Trump earlier.
Well, my father wants to create 25 million jobs in this country, and women need to fully participate for that to be realized and for that goal to be realized. Women are starting businesses at an enormously fast rate. We need to empower them and to fuel that growth.
Which, by extension, I guess, Katrina, could be housing growth as well in that event, right?
Well, you know, I've been working with Ivanka now for a very long time, and I've been in front of the families for a decade, and she's has amazing grace, and she's been very eloquent and knowledgeable and has proven to really be an amazing advocate for women. And I think that it's a very fortunate time for Americans and young women who have a great role model in her. And the fact that she's now officially in a White House role and has complied with all the federal ethics standards, I am very happy to see her in this role. And I really think that she's going to do a lot for women and for the economy and for business in general.
Tim, whether it's Ivanka or anyone else, the markets seem to be hoping that the Trump agenda gets going here and puts up a victory, puts up a win. By extension, do you say the same for housing as well?
Well, I'll tell you, this is the first time in a long time, certainly since maybe 9 years, that we've heard an administration that really talks about and recognizes the value of housing. And housing is so pro-cyclical. If you think about home construction, how positive it is for GDP. Even the sales of existing homes creates a lot of economic value. So it's important to hear them talking about it and taking up these issues of reform. And now you even see in the infrastructure bill, there's a special part where Secretary Carson, the head of HUD, is talking about, hey, look, we get it. housing is important. We're going to focus on housing as part of this infrastructure play. So that serves a lot of different purposes, and it's a good vibe from this administration that we hadn't heard in the past. And that's going to lead to a lot of the housing reform emphasis, which is a much bigger ball of yarn.
All right, Tim, Katrina, thank you both very, very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.